What's up, guys? Mike here with the RWO PDR podcast, the real world order of PDR. We've got a couples kind of episode tonight, episode 68. But first, I don't have a co-host to introduce tonight. Jim's, last we heard from Jim, he's in Wisconsin with a cheese wheel in his hand. With a Green Bay Packers jersey on. We don't know where Jim is tonight. Jim is not with us, guys. But in his place, which we got guests anyways, we have the Campbells here tonight. What's up, Ryan and Raechel? How are you all?
Good. How are you? What's
Good.
going on?
Welcome to the RWO. I think it's the first time we've had you guys on, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Raechel, this is the first podcast you've ever been on, correct?
First podcast.
Oh, wait a minute, guys. Hang on one real quick. Jim sucks. No, you don't, Jim. We love you, buddy.
Posted by Facebook user.
Facebook user. We'll get the comments turned on here, guys. Let's do this. Let's throw up the Campbell's dentrepair.com for you guys. Guys, welcome to the RWO. I'm so glad to have you guys on. So I met these two. Ryan, I've known you from the internet. Obviously, you know how the Dent guy world is. We all meet at MTE once a year, or sometimes we meet 2 or 3 times a year. Depends on what event we go to. And I hadn't had the pleasure. I've ran into you at certain things, but we didn't really get to know each other. And we got to stay at an Airbnb for MTE this year. And I got to know you and Raechel very well. And it was an awesome time. And yeah, so I had a great time. I had a good time. It was busy, but what was y'all's thought? What was y'all's experience at MTE this year?
It was amazing. MTE's sweet. Like every year, we're going to continue to keep going to as many as we can. And the Airbnb was awesome with everybody. It was just cool having everybody do the podcast at night, just waking up, cooking breakfast, chilling, just living life to the fullest with you guys. It was awesome.
It was fun, man. It was different. First time doing an Airbnb at MTE, it was different. I was so darn busy. I didn't really feel like I got to do anything, like really enjoy the house we were at and stuff. But it was fun, though. I did have a lot of fun. Drunken Tool review was great. That was a good time. We definitely didn't get to enjoy the pool because it was too freaking cold. But yeah, the breakfast was awesome. What's up, Chris Dale, man? Cooking it up. It's like,
he just asked me today to be his friend on Facebook. I couldn't find him and stuff, and I'm like, Chris Dale. I'm like, oh, we were in the house with him. Yeah, he was awesome. He was a good time.
Them boys was cooking up some bacon and some eggs. I was like, damn, dude. But yeah, anyways, yeah. MTE was great. Cooking. Oh yeah. MTE was great. I had a great time. But we've been there, done that. We've moved on. And so anyways, so let's talk about you two for a little bit. So tell me a little bit about yourselves. Tell me, when did you guys meet?
So we were actually friends in high school. So I moved from Willoughby to Chardon. So it was like 20 minutes from where I grew up in 8th grade. And we became friends when I went to the high school in 9th grade. And like every young kid, I had a crazy girlfriend that I dated for all through high school. And I was friends with Raechel, but we didn't date until after I graduated. I reached back out to her and we started hanging out. Honestly, our first time hanging out outside of high school, both being single, I guess it would be called a first date. My buddy calls me up and he's like, Ryan, I just killed this deer and I need help getting it out of the woods. And that's when I knew she was the one, because she's like, yeah, let's go. So here we are.
Down for whatever.
First time hanging out. Bloody deer in the bed of my truck. And yeah, that was like the first time we hung out. And then she was nervous to come to my house, so she parked at the gas station. She didn't want to leave her car in the house and like have to meet my parents and all that good stuff. So yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday, and that was what we were 18. So, yeah, just turned 18.
18. Yeah. Wow, man. That's cool. Yep. That's so cool. So Raechel, you've hunted before, obviously, when he asked you to help.
I go and I just want to sleep in the woods and eat snacks in the woods.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
But yeah, after that, like we ended up we bought our first house. We started dating obviously after that for about a year and a half, and then moved in together. And shit, we were married at what, almost
20.
19 and a half.
Oh,
We got married
wow. Hell yeah, man. That's cool.
5 now, so that's 15 years we've been.
15 years. Well, congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Oh, 2
Heck
kids.
yeah.
Maria is 8 years old, and Cameron is almost 15, our son.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
that's cool,
good
man. Yeah,
good run.
when we were at the house at MTE, I think I got up the next morning hungover, and I went down and Rachel was sitting out on the porch, and I just went down and had a conversation with her for like an hour, got to know her. I was like, well, she's really cool. So and
Yeah.
then yeah, I mean, yeah, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
so like, where are you guys originally? Y'all are both from Ohio originally? Is that
Yep.
okay?
Yep.
Yep,
Okay,
Northeast Ohio is where we're
Northeast.
at. So we live in Menor right now. We just sold our house, so end of April we are moving to our new house, which is where we met in Chardon. So like Menor, Willoughby is where I grew up and I moved from and went to Chardon. And then now we're like moving back to Chardon. So my son, he's exactly my age when I moved to Chardon, and he was a little like apprehensive about it because I asked him what he felt, and I told him, I'm like, dude, if I never moved when I was your age, I wouldn't have met your mom. I'm like, so just keep an open mind, like your friends, all my friends I still have to this day, from school are from Chardon, from when I moved out there. So he's all for it. He's a football player, so they got a good football team,
Oh,
and
nice.
he's
Yeah.
pumped about
Yeah,
that. So
Ohio's a big sports state. Yeah, I got I mean, I
yeah.
got a bunch of friends who live in Ohio. Yeah, yeah, that's cool,
Yeah.
man. What's up? Oh, let's see. We got Joshua Dragos in the house. What's going on, buddy? How are you? Seen you at MTE. Corey Nichols, PDR
Corey,
Cowboy. What's going on, brother? Oh, there's Jim Mitchell. There's the man with the golden beard. He's missing you. Yeah, he's on spring break. That's why we're gonna
yeah,
forgive him for this one. He's spending time with his
yeah.
family, man.
Enjoy your break.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
Yep.
We got Aaron Bush. What's going on, buddy? What's up?
Bush,
What's
what's up,
up?
dude?
Anyways, back
He's
to you guys.
I think he's just south of me. Aaron is.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
One of
Yep.
my guys, Dave Bourne, he is helping me at the Madison, Indiana storm I was telling you about that we're doing. He's from Delaware, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Cool.
lives there. And yeah, I've got some friends in Ohio. Pretty cool. So but yeah, anyways, so let's talk a little bit about that nice, beautiful shop behind you, man.
Yeah.
That is
So
Campbell's Dent Repair. So
yep.
tell us a little bit about that. When'd you move in that bad boy?
So I ended up I was leasing a 1,000 square foot unit in the very back of this building off of my neighbor, which she owned this building, and she was actually the founder of Hospice of the Western Reserve. I became good friends with her 'cause she was our neighbor, and I would help her and her husband out. And when her husband passed, she wanted me to rent the back out. So then she gave it to me for a good deal. And kind of honestly, she kind of pushed me to go into business for myself by giving me a good deal. She just helped me out a lot, and she seen it in me that I could do it. And I kind of, listened to her, and with her help, I got started renting the back unit. And from there, I was still working full time as a body and paint tech. I was body frame, paint, doing everything, and I was just doing PDR on the side. And her health ended up getting a little worse throughout the years. I think I rented it for like 5 years back there,
Mhm.
and she offered the building to me to buy. And the tenants up here, where my unit is now, ended up moving out on her, and then I bought the building from her. So I purchased the building. Now I lease the back 3 units out to a roofing company, and then like a pest control guy just moved into one of my units. And then I am in the first 6,000 square foot. It doesn't really look quite like 6,000 square foot,
It looks pretty
but
big to me.
it's a
Yeah.
pretty big unit up here. I redid the office. Me and Rachel had many two in the morning nights painting
Mm,
this place.
I
And when
imagine.
you're painting 6,000 square foot of brick, it kind of is a pain in the ass. But we did it all ourselves, cleaned everything. She manned the kids. And what's up, Amanda? And
What's up?
yeah, so we're here, and we've been running in this unit and owning the building for about 3 years now. So we
Nice,
have,
man. Looks great.
yeah, we have three technicians, and then myself, so that would be four. And then Raechel just started on with us full time this year, quit her job at the Cleveland Clinic and got rid of those health benefits. So now we got into the health benefit deal, paying for it here.
Mhm.
And if anybody has any questions, she is pretty good at that because I let her just run with it. And
Yeah.
we have a pretty good plan, and it's very affordable for what it is, comparable to the clinic insurance. That was a big thing with why she kept her job there. But now she's on with me, and she was actually scheduling cancer patients and stuff. So it's easy for her to schedule dent patients. It's a
Yeah.
lot less stress for her, and
Right. Right.
dents can be fixed, and
Yeah.
so, but yeah, it's great having her here. A lot of people are like, how is it working with your wife? And we flip houses too. So
Hmm.
that's like, that's where I am the worst human being because like I enjoy it, but she knows like I have very thin patience when it comes to like renovating something, and because it like snowballs and I have to just do everything, and in my mind I get overwhelmed. So if we deal with that good together, the whole dent shop running the business has been fairly easy and actually built our relationship, I think, better, stronger. She
Right.
sees what I'm doing. She has my back when, my employees will, say, come after you a little bit. And I'm thinking, I'm like, shit, am I in the wrong? Because it was like 3 versus 1. Now she's here. So she's like the buffer, right? I'll
Hmm.
have my one employee come talk to her, and then she mentions it to me. So it's like the best thing I ever did, honestly, with my business is having her in here, answering phones and just greeting customers,
Right.
starting estimates. It's been great. So
Okay. Well,
yeah.
let's go back to the health insurance thing, just because we started on
Mhm.
that. Joshua Dragos says, "I don't have any health insurance right now." Rachel, do you have any advice for him? You think something maybe he can reach out to you?
Yeah, if he messages me, I did a lot of research just because I was looking for insurances that would cover like specific issues just because like I have migraines. So I was
Mhm.
like really focused on making sure that I could get like my migraine meds covered or somewhat covered, which is what I had through the Cleveland Clinic.
Okay.
So I did a lot of research on the ones that were specific for me, but I definitely talked to, God, probably 30 plus different agents that offer different insurances. And sometimes it can snowball because some of them I thought I was talking about an insurance plan and it was more like an add-on insurance plan after you already have an insurance plan. So it got kind of like very confusing at some point, and I think that's where some people give up. But when you find the right like agents that can offer, Anthem and Cigna and multiple different companies, and they could lay it out for you on paper or, send you emails with all the information, that's ultimately the best way. But if he shoots us a message, Ryan or myself, I'll definitely, depending on where he's at, I can try to look and get some info, even talk to my personal agent to see if he maybe has some options or ideas depending what state he's in. But it
We
could definitely it was definitely overwhelming. And that's why I think it took us almost years for me to finally quit because I knew my insurance and I was almost scared to leave.
right. He's in
Yeah.
Florida, so
So he's in Florida.
Okay.
so I had to deal. I had some kind of weird insurance from like 6 years ago, and as of about 5 months ago, I have an Affleck lady, and I have Affleck for. I had that for. I paid for that for all my guys that work for me to give them something because a lot of them, some of them didn't have health insurance at the time, and some of them have insurance through their spouse or whatever. So I wanted to make sure everybody had something, and I know that's not health insurance, but it was better than nothing. But
Mhm.
we always carry Affleck, and then she started doing health insurance, and then she started providing those plans. And so she finally got me a really good plan for me personally. So I pay out of pocket for good health insurance now. So
Mhm.
um, I want to tell a really fast story about why you should have health insurance. Really good, super good friend of mine, very close friend. He's not a PDR guy. He's actually in the mortgage business. We go to Colts games. He just had a very weird illness that he's same age as me, healthy guy, some kind of bacterial illness he got. He basically went to the hospital. He almost died. He had to relearn to walk. They still don't know what's wrong with him. He's went to rehab. He's been released to go home. He's now walking. one of his left hands is doing this. He's trying to figure out how to, he's doing these rehab, trying to figure out how to open it. Scary shit, man. I'm just telling you guys, have something in place, man, if that happens, because that can happen to anybody. And the doctors have no clue what happened to him, and they don't, So just guys, I know a lot of dent guys run without insurance, and I know it's expensive, man, but try to figure something out. So if Raechel, if you can help anybody in our industry, be much appreciated. So
yeah, there's also HSA accounts, health savings accounts that you can put money in, and it's pre-tax. So you can put money into that. It can go towards dental, prescriptions, all kinds of stuff. So, if say Joshua Dragos is making a ton of money and he's paying it out in taxes at the end of the year and he wants a write-off, he can put money in an HSA and utilize that for medical bills. Say he
That's
needs to
great
go get
advice.
stitches,
Absolutely.
trips over his tool, and falls or something, like he can use his HSA account that's pre-tax money. So instead of using the money you already pay tax on, that's pre-tax. I'm no genius on it, but just from what I know, it's a good thing to have
Yeah,
too.
that's really good advice, man. That's awesome. So, well, anyways, let's get off the health insurance kick. But so Ryan, you're all's business now. Do you all do body work as well as PDR, or do you offer a lot of other services? Want to go into that a little bit?
We specialize in paintless dent repair, obviously, but we also got into, as we started, like we were just doing PDR, right? But with my background of body and paint and everything, I'm like, I'm turning all these, we call them gravy jobs in the body shop, right? And I'm sending them to everybody, and these body shops aren't giving me PDR work. And I'm like, you know what? I could do this bumper job. So what I ended up doing, I have my connections in the body shop world. I got a mix bank put in, so we mix all our own paint. We kind of started doing that for touch-up work and got into being like, well, we could do this bumper job. And I got a Garmat prep station and curtains, brand new curtains that go around it. So I would call it a prep deck paint area, because we're doing smaller stuff. We're not painting whole cars or anything like that, but we consider ourselves a non-structural collision shop, and we always tell people we're the first stop before the body shop. Come see us. If it's something that is bigger and the body shop needs to do, we will refer you to the correct body shop to best benefit you. But I want everybody to see us first, because I would honestly say in the body shop, I would say 75% of the dents that get mudded, filled, and painted are PDRable dents. And everybody, if for the sake of the vehicle, it's less invasive. Like, that's why I got out of body work. I was a technician turning 150 hours a week, and I was making great money. You wouldn't think that, but I wanted for the better good, better the customer, better for the vehicle. So that's why I got into PDR and really pushed to be the best I can be, and have my crew do the same. So, yeah, that's mainly what we focus on. We do Restore FX too. We do wheel repair, windshield chip repair. We Like today, I put on a Restore FX truck I did. They wanted sequential turn signals integrated in their mirrors, so I put those on. So any like accessories that people want, I do all that to my own vehicles. I've taken engines out of cars, but we stay away from mechanical stuff like that. But I had a Cadillac here the other day, and I put mufflers on it because it was just a real clean 30,000-mile Cadillac, but the mufflers rotted out. And I did a full dent repair on it. Had a bunch of little door dings. And I told the guy, I'm like, hey, your exhaust is leaking pretty bad. He's like, just handle it. If you got to sub it out, whatever, just handle it, and then I'll come pick it up. He didn't care what it cost. So I ordered an exhaust, put it on, and Corey asked if we use CCC. No, we are strictly all mobile tech, and I write all my body shop stuff through mobile tech. It's worked really good. I think with my body shop background, I know what times are adequate. I know sometimes in mobile tech for the body and paint end, it is a little off. Like you get a Range Rover, an Audi in, and you're taking the front end apart, and bumper pays 2.1 hours to overhaul it or take it off. I know what we're going to have into it. I know if the ADAS system needs calibrated, so I can sub that in and either call the dealership if it's ADAS calibration, get the quote, and just hard enter it in there. It's pretty cool too, writing body shop estimates with mobile tech, because when I send it to the insurance company. It's kind of like when they send us like all data or Mitchell estimate that it's hard for us to read. We're used to CCC. You send them that, and then a lot of them just like match my shit and then send it back because they're like, oh, I don't know how to read this, so they'll match it, and it kind of confuses them a little bit, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, you know who the sponsor of the show is, right? I'm kidding. I have no issues with that. But yeah, man, I'll tell you what, I mean, I'm just going to throw this out there. I use WebEst at my shop. Have you ever tried WebEst? It's a Mitchell based product and it's a lot cheaper than CCC and it works just as good. So I pair it with DentMate, works fine. So
that's awesome. So
that
DentMate
bone out
does
there.
pair.
Well,
DentMate
you can,
pairs
well,
with like CCC?
we're not integrated, but I mean, I use it with my DentMate. I mean, it's got parts data, it writes collision estimates, for $125 a month plus what DentMate costs that's pretty, it's pretty reasonable. So,
but I'd like to sit down with you and go over all that a little bit more because, I'm used to that mobile tech and stuff, but I definitely would like to learn a lot more about that because I might have some advice to where we can alter the body end into that too,
I think with CCC, I think what you get is a lot of the insurance companies use CCC. So you may run into that problem with WebEst, but I mean, we've used it for 3 years now and I've had no problems with it. So, but I'm mainly using DentMate when I do my estimates for writing we write our hail estimates here and stuff, but I do use the WebEst for parts data and certain things, writing collision part of stuff. It's a little easier to actually have collision estimating software, to pair with it. So, but anyways, let's go down that rabbit hole. But anyways, let's see what's going on. Let's see what's
up, Danny?
Nicholas Prong, what's up now?
Nick Prang.
Nick Prang, sorry, I said his name wrong. And Danny Hacker, what's going on, buddy?
For GPR pull.
Materials. We're all reading silently.
Yeah. So I actually do Kiko training for them guys too. Nice. So I travel around the Northeast up here and I do as much as I can. It's tough getting out with owning a shop and doing house renovations and stuff to go do it. But they're pretty cool and it's very lenient. I could schedule it as I please. And it's awesome. It gets me out of my comfort zone. I go to these body shops and I'm training these technicians to do better repairs with the glue pulling system. And I have pretty much a double L2E kit out there. I don't know if you could see it. It's like back in the corner over there. But I use it every day. And it's awesome to teach these new kids that are getting into body work the correct way of glue pulling. And they're blown away. And it just makes you feel so good when you leave there at the end of the day. And these people are actually like listening to you and you can coach them and it's just the car is getting repaired better when you leave, so no studs, welding, burning stuff up. So it's awesome.
Hell yeah. Cool, man. I didn't know that.
WebEst.com. Awesome. All right.
Yeah, I just somebody asked for the website. So Joshua did. So I'm going to give that to him. Thank you, man. Dave String. What's up, dog?
What's up, Dave?
How you doing, Dave String? Sorry when I put that, a million of those popped up. Danny Hacker. What's going on, man? That's cool. I didn't know that, Ryan. So, Ryan, I want to talk Restore Effects, man. I'm now me personally. I've got I'm kind of new to the shop thing. This is going on year 3 here in August. I'm getting ready to launch ceramic coating and detailing. We're actually getting ready to start next month. I got a guy and he's been trained. He went to California. He's came back. He's ready to go. And I got a little bit of training. I actually put ceramic on the other day. I got to actually do it myself. I am not going to do it, but I just thought while he's here, he came here to train us. So I thought while he's here, I might as well apply it myself. I'll go ahead and announce it. We're going to be using Owner's Pride. Dan Williams, he is Owner's Pride podcast. He is one of the biggest detail podcasts in the industry. He personally came here and trained me and my friend Mike. So yeah, it's gonna be good, man. We're gonna start doing that. Awesome. But anyways, Restore Effects. I don't know a lot about that. I've heard of it. I know it's big. I know a lot of guys are doing it, or I know Corey's doing it. And tell us a little bit about it and what it's done for your business.
So it's definitely challenging. It's just as hard as learning PDR all over again, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for a PDR company. I'll be blunt, honest with everything. It was a little expensive to get into, but it's a great add-on for what we're doing. We're not pushing it as hard as we should, but while we're busy with dent repair and body work, we don't want to push that too much, and we make more money on PDR. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
There's less material usage, less risk, because with Restore FX, you really have to be meticulous about prep and cleanliness and everything. Dust in the shop, like somebody opens a door and you just coat a car and like gust of wind with dust, you're stripping the car down. So
Mm.
it is a little more tedious than painting a car, I would say, with in that window, in that time frame, right, of you applying. It is definitely an amazing asset to have here, though. We have done, I would say, at least 35 cars process, maybe more. The one we delivered today was a Ford truck, came out so good. The customer was blown away. It is literally like, to sell it, you have to tell them this is not a buff and a polish. This is not a paint job. You're right between that. So if you want to save, like where buffing and polishing cannot correct your paint, if it's just too deep, too bad, instead of the next step usually would be going to the body shop and getting your car repainted for 10 grand, right? And then you don't have
Yeah.
original paint anymore. This is that in between. So if it can't be buffed or buffing's just not going to make it look as good, Restore FX is awesome. You can coat it and the car looks brand new again.
I've seen the before and afters from it. It looks
Yeah,
fantastic. I mean, it's
it's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we love having it here. I'm still looking for a technician to full-time do the Restore FX so we can push it a little bit more. It is going to be a long process to train up to like our standards. Because you could have like one wrong swipe, right? And like
A
have
good
a
question.
line. So
Got a
you
good
got to be
question.
very, very good at it.
Joshua's got a good
So
question here. Can you glue pull on a car that's been restored
yeah,
effects?
yeah,
Okay.
definitely. As long as it's fully cured, right?
Okay.
So we have like a 24-hour window. We can speed that up with a baking lamp. There's times where I do a second coat, like on a very oxidized roof, where you have to bake it, and there's certain degrees, a certain time you leave it at that temperature, and it is fully cured. And when it's fully cured, it's chemical resistant. You can pull out. It's just like normal clear coat. You could literally wet sand and buff it when it's done. Um, you're adding 10 to 15 microns of clear coat. So you wet sand it down and stuff, and then you do your prep and everything. And when you add Restore FX, it's actually a filler. It chemically bonds with the clear coat, and you can wet sand it, rub it. I tell everybody to pick their car up after doing it. I said, pretend you just bought your car from the showroom, right? It's new clear coat. I've noticed it is a little harder than some factory clear coats, like GM black clear coats. You could touch it with your thumb and it's going to scratch. I've
Mhm.
noticed after I've done Restore FX, it's a little more resilient, to be
Oh,
honest
really?
with you.
Okay.
Just from what I noticed, yeah, it's a little harder of a shell than your average clear coat. But then you get a BMW in here with nice, really good quality clear coat
Mhm.
that's resilient to scratching. It's I would say it's equivalent to that at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's been awesome. Like I said, I have to train myself to I want to do everything. As you
Mhm.
you probably know, like I'm the one that's like I jump in and I just try, but I can't do everything.
Yeah.
So I want to do the Restore FX and all the dents and all the body work and all the paint because I know I'm going to make it perfect. But at the same time, when I'm kind of stretched so thin, you start slacking. So I need to train people
Mhm.
my skill and my quality level, and that's what we're working on now. And it's cool having her here because she sees it and she kind of explains to me when we get home my blind spots of what I need, because I'm like so gung-ho to just get it done and do it all myself that
Right.
I sometimes don't see it, that I
Yeah.
need to hire people.
It's hard, dude, because that's
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm probably not as far along as you guys are with extra things in a business, but hiring like see, I hired my sister to do my bookkeeping, kind of like similar to what or and hired a man be a office manager, basically what you hired Rachel. And
Mhm.
that was a big step for me. And I wasn't sure about hiring my family. Like I was kind of like, I don't know. But honestly, it was the best move I made because that's the person I trust. That's my family. And it was a good move for me because she's done an amazing job. And if you know, and I don't it was probably one of the best moves I've made. It's freed me up personally to do other things. And because I used to spend weekends doing my paperwork for my business. You know, I could spend Sundays doing payroll, and it's like, no, this is not how you run a business. It's like, it's crazy what I was doing. And now it's freed me up where I can fix dents. I can do other things. But yeah, I get it, man. That transition to start letting go to let other guy, like this detailing thing. Like I haven't detailed a car in like 18 years. And when I got trained, it brought back memories of me. Now, of course, I buff cars when we do dents, but like actually buffing a whole car and applying this stuff, it just brought back memories of doing it. But I realized this is not what I want to do. This is for someone else to do, for me to make money. Because at the end of the day, it's about making money, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And we have to do the actual job to make sure it works, make sure there's
Mhm.
a demand for it. And that's kind of
Mhm.
how I modeled my shop out is I started doing the dents, right? And then I'm
Mhm.
like, oh shit, we're getting busy with dents. I know I could take on more dents. So then I hired two dent guys, one at
Mhm.
a time. I hired a dent guy who's here for a year, and then I hired another dent guy. So I made sure I put my neck on the line to make sure the work was there, make sure it's possible, make sure we're set up. And then I got into, the body work end of it. Now I have a guy that I'm going to be hiring in to do the body and paint. But I wanted to put my neck on the line. I want to know how to master it first. And then if he has any questions or he's sick, my dent guy's out, I can jump in. My paint guy's out, I can jump in. So that's
Mhm.
kind of how I'm doing modeling my business is I'm making sure I do it all. And that's kind of how I came up in the body shop. Started off detailing. I was a parts manager. So I learned CCC, then I was a writer, and then I was disassembling cars and writing them. So then when I disassembled them, then I was doing light body work to get it ready for paint. So
Mhm.
like, and I worked my way up, and then I was on the frame machine and delivering cars in the front office. So it was really cool for me to see every aspect of the body shop. And I was underpaid at the time. Most people can say like, "Oh, I worked for way too less." No, you know what? All the stuff I learned, I would have worked for free. You know, so I look at it as I don't care what they paid me at the time. I just looked at the end goal, how much stuff I was learning. Everything you learn stays with you. All your iCar certifications stay with you. So I want like if I could tell any technicians that are out there, don't dwell on like if you're not making exactly what you want, you got to focus on that end goal and learn as much as you can. It's education. When you make a mistake and you fix it, that's you learn from it. So it's a big deal to just have that open mind
Mhm.
and just take it all in, and don't
Mm.
dwell on like a little thing that pisses you off,
Right. Rachel, let me ask you a question. So uh, what's life like now from the industry you were in before until now, into in your own business, basically?
I would say it's a lot less stressful,
Oh, really?
not dealing with cancer
Okay.
patients on a daily
Well,
basis.
okay, fair enough. I get it. Yeah,
So for that, it's a
yeah.
lot less stressful, but it's nice being in the shop. It's nice. Like I used to be strapped behind a desk all day. So like I'll jump up if like the guys are busy and I'll start washing cars or help vacuuming cars out or calling customers. So it's nice doing something different and being a little
Mhm.
more active than just
Yeah.
sitting on the phone talking to people. So I like it. And I mean, I like our house stuff. Like it keeps us busy doing all the different things that we do. It's not
Yeah.
just like we're here in the shop all day.
Yeah,
So
it's not
some
just you guys are like you all have multiple businesses. This ain't just one
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. So let's go. I mean, and thanks for answering that question. So let's go into y'all's real estate stuff. Uh, so you guys are just we're just not doing just PDR and running a shop, doing body work and wheel repair and restore effects. We're also venturing into real estate investing, uh,
Yep.
which I wish I would have got more heavily involved in 10 years ago, or maybe longer than that, but I didn't. And so, talk a little bit about that, Ryan. Like, how did you guys get involved in that? Excuse me.
So we started off when we were real young and we got married. We bought a house. We were actually looking for like an apartment to rent to get out of our parents' house, and this was like right before we were getting married and stuff. And I'm like, man, $600 a month for this shithole apartment. I am not spending that money. So I ended up finding a foreclosed house for $44,900, and we actually put quite a few offers in on houses around that price range, right? At the time I'm making like $12 an hour, $13 an hour. Um, so if anybody's not making shit for money, there's a way to start. Like you can start. Don't say that, oh, I don't make enough money to buy a house. There's houses out there that you can buy and renovate. So we actually bought this house, complete shithole, and not livable. And we started renovating it. And that's how I learned how to build stuff. I built a garage there. It passed inspection and everything for for the permit. So like I learned a lot because there were certain things, certain stuff that the inspector wanted that I had to add after the fact. But guess what? I learned from it. Most people can bitch and say, "Oh, this guy's an idiot. He's just trying to slow me down." No, you do what he says and then you learn from it. So we learned a lot from that house. We actually moved in. I gutted the bathroom floor was all rotted all the way down into the crawl space. So we had to, before we moved in, we had to get the bathroom going and stuff like that. Then we moved in and we just kept renovating and built the garage. And then we found our house that we actually just sold. We just sold this month and we're moving out of. We've been in there for 15 years. So we found the Menor house and bigger house. I was making more money. And in that year and a half of 2 years of living in that small house that we renovated, we had Cameron, our son, and we needed more room. So we found this house in Menor, and I'm like, this is it. I want to buy this house. Again, a foreclosed house, big house that needed completely renovated. It wasn't as bad as the East Lake one that we bought, but we couldn't sell that house at the time. This was when the market was shitty. What was it? 08, 09? I think it was 09 because Cameron was born. So right in 09. And the only way we can get that house is the bank said that you either have to have a lease agreement written up for somebody to rent it. I'm like, oh shit, I got to be a landlord, like I'm like, I want this house. And if you want something bad enough and you push for it, you're gonna make it happen, right? So I got a lease agreement. We had that house rented out to this lady who worked for the library, local library. So I rented that out. We got our new house. I renovated that. I've actually been renovating our new house till yesterday.
For the last 15
I'm
years.
always working
Oh,
on it
wow.
and changing it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
knew it was time to leave when Rachel's like, I renovated the whole kitchen and it's beautiful. And she's like, oh, I think these floors need updated. And I'm like, shit, I updated those already. So we were hitting that reset button. I'm like, babe, we're buying a new house. Let's put this bitch up for sale. So, because it's still great. But that's
Yeah.
when you know you're ready to move, is when your wife is telling you to re-renovate your renovations. That's
Oh,
when it's
wow.
time to roll.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so we kind of got thrown into like being a landlord, right? And it was working out pretty good. You have headaches, but don't dwell on those little headaches. Just stay on top of your tenants and make sure stuff's good. In that meantime of that 15 years we were in our Menor house, we purchased what, 4 or 5 houses? Again, real, small houses. We did a home equity line for our first one on our house in order to buy the house because we had good equity from repairing our bigger house. So I took a HELOC out on it, bought a house, renovated it, rented it for a little while. That way we're a little past capital gains. I think it's about a year, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And rented it for a while and the market was great, sold it. So we sold 3 houses in 22 that we fully renovated. One house we bought for like $20,000. I renovated it all myself. Rachel's the one cracking the whip and she does all the painting. I won't paint. But we did everything ourselves. Her and I, the kids, my daughter's there pooping in buckets because she's a little baby and there's no toilet in there. So like she's a trooper. I'm gonna leave everything to her. Cameron was always at home hanging out. So if he ever watches this, he knows his sister's gonna get everything. So she's gonna have to be nice and give him a house or two here. But yeah, we sold 3 houses, renovated and sold 3 houses in 22. That's when I bought the building, right? So
Yeah.
I used the profits out of that, purchased the building, put the down payment down. that was a whole bunch of hoops I had to jump through. If anybody ever buys commercial buildings,
Oh
you
yeah,
have to
it's
do
never easy.
phase
Yeah,
ones and
yeah,
environmental stuff. But it's cool. It's worth it. Do it
yeah,
because
yeah.
the way I wanted to buy this build or the reason I wanted to buy this building is when I was mobile and I was running around to all these mechanics shops, every mechanic that's been there for like 20 years that I'm doing dents for, that they like open the door and hit their lift, they would just be intrigued by with what I'm doing. So they would be talking to me and they said, "Man, I wish I would have bought this. I would have paid this building off 4 times in the amount of rent I paid on it." And that stuck with me. That wasn't just one person that told me that, multiple
Hmm.
body shops, stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? And I'm buying a building. At that point, I was set, and it's been probably the best investment that I've done so far is buying this commercial building. Not easy, but we made it happen. Yeah, and then from there, now we're actually buying all our houses are in that 50,000 to 75,000 range. We buy them cash with our own funds. We don't use private investors or anything. Just from starting with $12 an hour, buying our first house and kind of getting stuck in it, which we still own that house. It's all paid
Mm,
for. We rent it out. Still to this day, I think I'm going to keep that house forever because that was our first one,
yeah.
and just started from there, and it snowballs. It's not fast. It takes a long time. And if you just play your cards right, make smart moves, don't, go out drinking and driving, a DUI will set you back, like just be smart about it and you'll get there. You just got to play your cards right and not do dumb shit, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
right, right. I mean, no, dude, guys, yeah, I am so impressed. I mean, for what you all like, there's a lot of guys that chase hail and do dents, and they don't even own. I can't even lie to y'all. I live in an apartment right now. I mean, not saying but I'm just saying owning several homes and renting, it's fantastic what y'all are doing. I mean,
yep.
kudos, man. I give you guys a lot of props, man. It's awesome. And anybody
Thank
listening, man, you guys invest your damn money, man. I mean, I'm serious. If it's in the market, which I do invest a lot in the market, but real estate is amazing, man. It's great. I mean,
you.
so just want to tell you guys that.
Yeah,
Let's yep.
you could never really lose with real estate as long as you do
Hmm.
your homework, and you might here and there you might have a deal if you do a lot of them that you lose a little bit, but the chances are like you do your research, make sure it's decent and you're motivated. You're not it's not that risky.
Hmm.
It's you just do it. Make sure you just play your cards right. If have your plumbers set up. If you can't do that yourself, have a crew of guys that you trust that you can bail you out of certain things. And it's great because you actually have that
Oh,
asset sitting in front of you that you could sell at any time. And let me know the last time you've ever seen a house not sell. That's something my dad told me. And houses always sell. Eventually, they always sell. There you go, Jack Bucknell. Woo!
woo! Let's give Jack a little woo. Anyways,
But
shout
yeah,
out to
and right
yeah.
now we have what do we own 3 rental houses that are paid off, and then we bought an Airbnb property behind the cabin, which we own a cabin, but that I partner with my brother. My brother and I own a cabin free and clear in Southern Ohio. Ask Ryan
You,
about his
No
helicopter, man.
helicopters
do
Not
you have
yet.
a
yet.
helicopter? Not yet.
No.
I'm working on it. So 5-year goal. Andy knows. 5-year goal. I want to own a helicopter. That way I could get to my cabin quick.
That's
So
right, Jack. You use your money to make money.
that's it. That's
Scared
it. And
money
us
don't make money,
PDR
buddy.
guys, like we can't do it forever.
Yeah.
I see a lot of older PDR guys. I have a lot of respect, but like being on our knees and shoulders getting blown out, stuff like that. Yeah, you got to have this passive income, and
Yeah.
if you have 5 properties that are paid off, even if they're only $1,000 a month rent bringing
Hmm.
in, think of that when you're older and you have that income coming in. You only pay your taxes, your repairs, stuff like that. That's a full business that
Hmm.
you can just mosey around and go check on your rental properties and you could still survive. Or like your buddy that got that illness, he would still have rent coming in. He can hire
Hmm.
a guy to go check the furnace if something goes wrong, but with a phone call while he's laying in bed. But like you need this stuff because you can't just be out there making money. If you get hurt, blow your back out and you're a PDR guy and that's all
Yeah,
you
you're in
got. You don't
trouble.
have
You're in
employees,
trouble. Yeah.
you're in trouble.
Mhm.
So you can save all the money you want to and have 200 grand in the bank. You blow your back out, you're out for 5 years. That money's gone. So
Yeah,
you got
that
to
ain't gonna
have that
last.
constant money coming in. I'll
Mhm.
tell you what, that passive income is worth 6 times what having liquid cash is,
Yep.
because it's constantly coming.
Yep.
It's a must, I think. It's
I
definitely
agree,
a must.
man. I
Yeah.
100% agree. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of where we're getting into these shops and creating these shops and creating, brick and mortars for businesses we can eventually sell down the road. I mean, that's what Grant Cardone says. You create a
Yeah.
business to sell a business. That's kind of the model. Real estate. He's a big real estate guy too, so and I'm into the market. I buy crypto and I buy, you know, Apple and different stocks. I'm into the S&P and things like that. I mean, it's not, as long as you're spending your money wisely and tucking a
Yeah.
little bit away for retirement, that's good. Because I
Yeah.
mean, as I remember these days, like I remember hiring hill guys and they'll say, man, I just want to make enough money to I just want to make enough money to buy this boat, or this this car I want, and that's fine. That's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, man, it's fine once you buy that item, you gotta think ahead, man. You can't just can't just buy that item and then be broke the next wintertime and have to sell the item to pay for when there's no hail next year. And you gotta get out of that. You gotta get out of that waiting. It's like chasing the next storm is what I say. You gotta get
Mhm.
away from that chasing the next storm, man.
Yeah.
So but
Yeah,
anyways,
definitely. And
yeah.
I'd love to help people out and like I don't have it all figured out. I'll be dead honest with you, but you know what? Each day we go by and we learn more stuff and like the Airbnb property, we're going to build like an A-frame or something there. That's completely uncharted territory for us. I might lose my ass, but guess what? I'll have something there that I can sell. So you might lose on renting it, but I don't know because I haven't done it, but I could always just sell it and make money on the building that I built. So, what's up,
Absolutely.
Dave?
What's up,
Dave's
Dave
like my big
Detlef?
brother, Detloff.
Oh yeah, I love that
He
guy,
went
man.
hunting with me this year. He's been to my cabin.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. Love
Oh
that
yeah,
guy.
solid. Yep.
Jack says he's tucking his money away to go to Derby. Well, there's a future plan of betting on the Derby horse to win. They're all coming to my area here in about a month for the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby. So I'm sure you guys will see pictures on Facebook and videos. Uh, but I don't want to steer away from our conversation. But
We'll
yeah,
see
Derby's
Jack there
coming.
gambling.
Anyways, I think we've covered just about everything I wanted to talk about. Ryan, what were we talking about before the show started? Talking about investments, something.
Yeah, we were talking about investments. What else were we talking about? Oh, the tools.
The tools.
Those
Oh yeah,
your
yeah,
pick tools.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is irrelevant. This ain't gonna make you a lot of money. We'll make you a little bit. I just, guys, when we were MTE, I don't know why. I want to give a shout out to these guys here, the R&I guys. All right. It's a app that you get. It's free, and basically, it's like YouTube, and you basically contribute to it. So you make a video, you upload it. It's really neat the way it's made. It's really user friendly. You go through, pick what vehicle, but again, it needs some videos added to it. I do want to tell you guys, encourage you guys to add videos to this thing. Try it out. It's free. But anyways, at the show, they were selling these tools, and these are not by any means something that, I don't know. They're basically just little screwdrivers, and they made a little bend to them. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay, it's got a little bend to it. Let me tell you guys about R&I. I hate the pick tool. That's basically the L-shaped pick tool. That's my favorite thing, like, in the world. These now have took the place of that L-shaped pick tool. These are phenomenal for taking little plastic pieces apart. And all they did was heat these up and bend them a little bit. That's it. That's all they did. And then I got this little thing. So all these three items cost was like $100. Now this looks like a dent tool, right? This takes off belt moldings. So basically, you slip this in. They gave you a plastic guard, and you yank up on the belt molding. It works fantastic. And it's just, it ain't nothing like it don't look like anything, you know? So anyway, shout out to the R&I guys. I did not spend enough time talking to those guys. I was basically wanting to talk about the app. I was in a hurry. He was showing me the tools. I just said, hey man, I'll take them, you know, whatever. And I bought them real quick and didn't think about it. Honestly, probably one of the best purchases at MTE, other than my cam model stuff, but I don't want to start categorizing what I bought, but yeah, that good. I mean, shout out to those guys. So I just wanted to bring that up. I haven't had an episode in a while to talk about tools. So yeah. So yeah, Dave, I think Dave's talking about those guys. Cool. All right. Yep.
Yeah,
all right.
they're persistent salesmen too. They were.
Yes. Yes, they were. And I do want to talk to you guys. If you are listening to the show, aren't I guys? Get with me. I want to talk to you guys. Okay. Mike Gladwell. All right. Well, anyways, guys, let's go into Jim's favorite part of the show, even though he's not on the show tonight. I got 5 stupid ass questions for just you two. I'm not even going to answer these questions because I would answer them if Danielle was on the show, but these are couples geared questions. I hope I don't cause any fights or any problems, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, you guys ready?
Yeah.
These were generated by AI. I'm using AI now. I'm all fancy. All right, you guys ready? Question 1 for Raechel and Ryan. If you were both stranded on a desert island, which one of you do you think would be better at survival and why?
I'll let her answer that.
Ryan, because I would die from mosquito bites. And I can't fish. I can't hunt. I would lay on the beach.
And just
but
get a tan.
that will just kill me faster too. So I would die.
Okay, so there's no
that's why
argument
she
there.
married me. I'd build shelter. I'd have food while she's tanning on the beach. I'd be feeding her, and she'd be telling me what to do, and I'd go do it.
I would design the shelter.
Okay, fair enough. Hey,
Make me re-renovate the shelter after 20 minutes.
So just remember, these are AI generated. So this is the first show we've ever had AI generated questions. All right. So question 2, which was a good answer. What was the most embarrassing thing your partner has ever done in front of you? I don't care who answers it.
I don't know.
Most embarrassing thing your partner has ever done in front of you.
I don't really look at anything as embarrassing because, like,
you don't really
nothing
care.
really bugs me. Like,
trying to think of something, and I
don't know. You fell on your ass on the skateboard, but that wasn't in front.
Oh yeah.
I was.
Hey, shit! And the Ring camera caught me.
Yeah, I was watching her in the Ring camera, and she tried to get on her son's skateboard. And
I moved Aria. Well, Aria was trying it, and I'm like, no, you're doing it wrong. So I literally picked her up, took her off the skateboard, and as soon as I went for one step, I ate shit and fell right on my back. It looked like I cracked my head open, and the camera caught everything. And then Aria's like, "Are you okay?"
That's funny shit. Hey, Sally Jean says hi, Raechel.
What's up, Sam?
Hi.
No, hi to Ryan, huh?
Jack Bucknell, like that. I know he didn't say. Yeah, girl power, man. Gregory.
Think what I've done.
Hey, Gregory. Oh, that's Grey Duck. That's Mr. John Vadang.
Oh, there he is.
Gregory. I forgot to say shout out to Gregory. He is up here. He said hi earlier. Sorry about that. I like that guy. John Vadang. What's up, John Vadang? Gary James, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Cool. All right, guys.
Gary tried to get me to do burnout my vet when we were leaving. So I was pulling out a Top Golf when he was up here doing hail with my buddy Rob.
Mm-hmm.
And Gary's he's filming me, right? And he's like, man, light him up. And I look over, he's behind the building, so he can't see it. There's like 5 cops in the parking lot. And I'm like, putts out of there. And he texts me later. He's like, dude, what the fuck? I'm like, you didn't see all the cops right there? So, yeah, sorry, dude. I'll get you next time you're in town. I'll light the tires up all the way down the road as long as there's not cops there.
That's awesome. You guys ready for question 3?
Sure.
All right. Okay, this one's kind of weird. If you had to swap bodies with each other for a day, what's the first thing you do in each other's body? That's kind of weird.
I just answered that before the question was up.
What do you got, Ryan?
I'd be playing with my titties all day. I wouldn't even fix any dents. Slapping my own
like
ass.
any man would do.
Yeah. The same answer any man would have if he got to
Right?
switch bodies.
We'd
Yeah.
be like, Rachel, do you have any
Scared.
I
answer to
don't know
that?
what I would do.
You don't know?
She'd
Yeah.
fly the helicopter swinging the junk around.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jack, I think Jack likes that one. Right. All right, we'll move on to the next question. That was kind of weird. Thanks, AI.
Yeah,
I think
thanks.
they know us. All right. Question 4. What is the funniest thing you've ever argued about as a couple?
We don't argue much. The funniest thing? I don't know. There's probably been stupid shit that we've already argued about. Write her name in the stuff. Right.
I'm just
Okay,
reading these.
hold
These.
on.
I think they're talking about the last question.
Yeah.
The
The
stupidest
stupidest
thing
thing you've ever argued about. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's been something dumb where one of us thought we were 100% right,
Here-
and we
Here's the key to marriage is we forgot about that shit.
Yeah.
So that's
Mhm.
good that we're thinking about it because we don't hold like anything. We've argued and stuff here and there, but you forget about it and move on. And
we don't hold grudges, so it's more or less
Yeah.
like, hey, you're being a dick, or
Yeah.
like I can't read your mind, so like fucking speak it, and then like we're good.
Yep, that's our arguments.
That's
I'm
yeah.
like,
Me,
oh shit, okay, I'm being an
me and
asshole.
Danielle
Sorry.
will argue like you said you were coming home from the cigar bar, and I'm like literally coming home at like 10:30. Like, come on, I'm not coming in at 3 a.m. with glitter on me. I mean, come on, it's 10:30. So we laugh about it next day. She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, babe, I'm being ridiculous," and then I'm like, "I'm being ridiculous," whatever.
Yeah.
Let it go, man. So
Yeah, I think what would we argue like just I argued a little bit with you. It was kind of petty about wanting to redo the backsplash and the floor in the kitchen that I just redone. That's stuck in my head. I'm
of
keeping
course,
that.
you two are gonna argue about that.
Hey, but we're moving to a new house,
Yeah,
and guess
I
what?
solved that problem.
We're
You
doing
two-
new countertops, which is what I was trying to get them to do in our
In the
house.
new
again.
house.
You two need
But
a
it's
reality
fine.
show on HGTV. I could see that. You
Yeah.
guys, let me see what I can
You'd see-
do, man.
you'd
I'm
see me in
nobody,
my
but I'll
best
see what I can
self.
do. I'm gonna reach out to some producers, man. I think you guys would be good.
It would
All right,
be
you guys.
pretty entertaining.
I think it would. Yeah, you guys are good. All right, let's go to question 5. Sorry about these weird AI questions. If I'd have handpicked them, they'd been funnier. All right, question 5. If you could magically make your partner become an expert in one skill or hobby, what would it be and why? That's like really intricate.
Ryan's probably like, I wish you would work on more construction stuff at the houses so that I don't have to do it all.
No, I think I would love it like if she had like her own business, like renovation business that she ran, operated, like to see her because I know she has it. And
Rachel's
instead of us
renovation.
thinking small and doing it ourselves, like
Mhm.
if she had her like got a crew together, created the company, everything like that, she would crush it. So I would love to see her making millions a year, just crushing it as a female entrepreneur. Like I would love that. Together we do really good because like my strengths are her weaknesses and my weaknesses are her strengths. So we work good together. She keeps me on the right track and in line, and if she keeps hitting the whip just right, I'm a pretty good working horse, and I keep doing what she says. So it works out.
Yeah, that sounds great answer.
Yeah.
What about
I don't
Ryan?
know what I would want to make you do.
I'm already a master, right? So there's no more that I can do.
Ryan thinks everyone is a mind reader, especially when
So
we
good.
work on houses. So I
Oh.
wish he could like, mind some words to me sometimes when he's about to smash my fingers when we're working on something at the
So I'll
house.
explain that. I am so in depth and in tune with the task at hand and solving that problem that I do lack in my mind because I do lack like that communication and I'm bad at explaining it. if somebody can see what's going on in my mind, they'd be like, oh shit, I'm gonna leave them alone for a little bit. But like for me to translate that while I'm trying to multitask and actually, I'd rather just, I have the problem solved already in my head and I'm contemplating and calculating how I'm going to do it. And then I got somebody staring at me, like wanting me to explain and teach, like tell them how I want them to do it when I could have just already did it. So that's where I wish I was better at that, explaining and teaching. And that's why I do the Kiko training, because I am learning and it's growing my own self and awareness of how to actually teach people and sit back. And it's cool because it's a relaxing environment and I could actually work on myself while I'm teaching people GPR training. So it's cool.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, thank you guys tonight for coming on the episode or our episode of RWO. I really appreciate it. You guys are great, man. You guys dropped a lot of knowledge tonight, and man, you guys are doing big shit, man. I'm really proud of you all. So
Yeah, thank you.
and you all don't live far from me, so you know, me and Danielle would love to hang out with you guys. So
I know.
come
We'll
on
make it down.
to
We
Newest
were
Deal.
planning on visiting.
Yep. Well, listen, guys, it's been fun. I've got to give a shout out to our sponsors. MagicMind.com, you guys check it out. This is some great stuff. I've been taking it for about 2 months. Kick the energy drinks and get MagicMind.com. It'll make you feel good. Take it in the morning. You can drink it with your coffee. So, all right, guys. Also, RealWorldPDR.com, the industry's hottest training site. Don't forget about that. And DentMatePro.com, your simple solution for invoicing and estimating. And don't forget about DentMate.com.au. It'll make you more Aussie dollars. All right, guys. Ryan, Raechel, thank you for coming on. Don't forget.
for having us.
Hey, man, let's give a little shout out to, let's throw it up there. Campbell's DentRepair.com. Don't forget. So, all right, guys. RWO for life.
Lane.
Peace.